A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. So when the sorcerers arrived, they asked Pharaoh, "Will there be a reward for us if we be the winners?" He said, "Yes. In that case, you shall certainly be amongst the winners." Moses asked them, "Cast whatever spell you're going to cast." So they cast their ropes and their sticks and said, "By the might of Pharaoh, we are certainly the winners." Then Moses cast his staff, and it started devouring all the falsehood they had invented. And the sorcerers fell prostrate in submission to Allah. They said, "We have believed in the Lord of the universe, the Lord of Moses and Aaron." Now, going back up here to ayat 45. Then Moses cast his staff, and it started devouring all the falsehood they had invented. Now, this doesn't say anything about a snake, and even the ayat right before it. So they cast their ropes and their sticks and said, "By the might of Pharaoh, we are certainly the winners." Now, it doesn't mention anything about the ropes and the sticks transforming into anything. But the next ayat, the next verse, does say, when Moses cast his staff, it started devouring all the falsehood they had invented. So when I'm reading this, and I think that there are many levels that this can be taken. I mean, we can just read it as it's taken, but how do we apply this to our life now is how I try to sometimes look at it, right? And so the historical story is nice of what happened to Moses and Pharaoh, but to how to apply it to our lives now. So the ropes and the sticks, all right, these are spells, all right? Moses asked them, "Cast whatever spell you're going to cast." So they cast their ropes and their sticks and said, "By the might of Pharaoh, we are certainly the winners." Then Moses cast his staff, and it started devouring all the falsehood they had invented. So these ropes and the sticks are representative of some kind of falsehood that they invent. It's an illusion, right? The Jewish Bible, seems to allude to us that it's snakes, reptiles, and like serpents. But this doesn't say that. Well, why would it leave that out? I think because it doesn't necessarily have to, and it allows us to apply it to our lives. These ropes and sticks. These ropes and sticks are representative of tricks. I mean, what do you do with ropes, right? Especially in these days, you would tie camels up with them. You would, it's used as a tool to strap things down, right? And sticks. What do you do with sticks? Beat things down with it, like a shepherd has a rod, and it's sticks can also be at that time probably again, these have many levels. So sticks can refer to casting lots, or using it for many different levels of meaning. But when it's the next one, and Moses cast his staff, and it started devouring all the falsehood they had invented, right? So it started just totally blew everything, all the tricks that they were using. So the tricks can be played among the people, the media, the television, right? There's even an expression, they try to rope you in with, certain kinds of advertisement, and right? And they might try to beat you over the head with constant same commercial over and over, right? So they're casting their ropes and sticks, right? They're trying to rope you in, beat you over the head with this advertisement, but it doesn't have to be just advertisement. It can be propaganda of most any kind, right? And the sorcerers fell prostrate and said, "We have believed in the Lord of the universe, the Lord of Moses and Aaron." Obviously, this is saying that when Moses showed his power, the tools that he had, because they were using ropes and sticks, he cast a staff. Right? So it's different, and a staff, especially, it can be used for herding a flock, right? So as they're casting ropes and sticks, which are for, I guess ropes, like I said, could be used for camels and tying stuff down, but these are smaller. The staff is bigger and can be used to rein in a flock, right? If a sheep gets caught or something like that, you would use the staff, which normally had a little crooked thing sometimes at the end, and that would go around the neck that you could kind of try to help pull them out of a ditch or something if the animal got caught or stuck somewhere. Which is why you see the pharaohs, when they're in their tombs, they'll have that a small, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's basically a small staff, and it's used to, it's symbolic of that they are the leaders of the people. They also have the whip. It's a tiny one, but that's again because they are the rulers, or the laying the justice down of the people. So they're the ones that lay the punishments down. Pharaoh said, "Have you believed in him before I have given you permission?" All right, so this is showing the audacity that Pharaoh has. He's thinks so much of himself that he does not allow so this is kind of a control issue, and that's what I'm talking. That's why when I read this, we can relate it today to media, TV, television, propaganda, and all of this. Pharaoh, which is the bigger entity here, maybe not a named one, because in all these, the sorcerers are the ones that we see, the names that we can see on TV. Jeffrey Epstein, and the people that get caught in these little things. And the big power is it's not limited to just one person. It'd be nice if evil and bad things were just one person. We could get rid of that one person, but that's not the way it works. So I've kind of lost my thought. Have I given you permission to believe in him? He is surely your master who has taught you sorcery. So, this is saying, well, we can just leave that. So you will soon come. It's saying that, that Moses has even greater power than these others. And that's just that's Pharaoh himself acknowledging that right there, right? That he's at least greater than the other people. Pharaoh is at least admitting that much. He's right, and he's also kind of accusing them of working in league with Moses, almost like backstabbing him. Like, hey, wait a minute, you're all in it together. You're all against me. He had like that paranoid thing. So you will soon come to know. I will cut off your hands and your feet from opposite sides, and I will crucify all of you together. Again, that's like you're all against me? Fine, I'm going to take all of you out, right? So he's mad at because he looks dumb, probably. And they said, no harm. we shall indeed be returning to our Lord, right? So Moses came, broke all the spells, the illusions, right? The let's just use it for today's, like I'm trying to, today's analogy of, show that all the BS, all the lies on TV and the propaganda that the government is, they perpetuate racism and division to propagate wars for money. And, so they actually create racism. And at the same time, they try to act like they're fighting it, but it don't matter because it's all about money, all right? Money, 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 all right? But when Moses actually breaks the spell, right? When God sends his truth to you or to these people, and in this case, he did it through a messenger, right? Through Musa. And when he sends that, you see right through all the BS, right? And all of a sudden, you're not worried about, I can't afford the Ferrari or, that kind of stuff. And a little bit even more extreme is, so even when someone says, hey, we got to cut off your hands and your feet, crucify you, all of you. You're not even so worried about it. You're like, no harm. We shall indeed be returning to our Lord. We do wish that our Lord may forgive us for our lapses, that we are the first to be the believers. So they have no fear of Pharaoh and even death because they know that they're going to be returning to Allah. But they, at the same time, they're also saying that they know that they need forgiveness and Allah's mercy. So that's important. I guess even as a believer, and it's not enough. You have to have Allah's mercy. And we communicated to Moses, right, and that's Allah, communicated to Moses, take away my subjects by night. You will surely be pursued. Pharaoh then sent the summoners to the city to muster his army to pursue the children of Israel, saying, they are only a small number of people, and they have enraged us, and we are alert. And we turn them out from the gardens and water springs and treasures and positions of honor. That's how it is. And we made the children of Israel the inheritors. And they're just going back. We communicated to Moses, take away my subjects by night. You will surely be pursued. Right? So it wasn't, we can see that this is how it can be used, or how I'm taking this as an analogy that can be used now, because it's here, I mean, it makes it seem as though Moses is doing all of this right in front of Pharaoh, right in front of the court, and if that's the case, how can Pharaoh, threaten, I'm gonna kill all of you, and then that it right down like a couple lines down, it says, take away my subjects by night, because you will surely be pursued. Right? Because if Pharaoh wanted to, he could have just killed them right then and there, right? But this is saying that this shows that when the truth comes, right? And that's how I'm saying it. Moses, who is bringing the truth from Allah, brings it to people, and Moses is told to take the people away, because Pharaoh is going to pursue them. Right? So we have a warning. This is the warning, right? we've had plenty of our lives, our whole lives are the warning, basically. So Pharaoh then sent the summoners to the city, right, to muster. So and that's like I'm saying. So there's a threat. We've had the warning. They've arranged us, and it's going to be so that just like I said. Okay, so we have arranged. So then it goes on. So we have turned them out from the gardens and water springs, right? And treasures and positions of honor. That is how it is. And we made the children of Israel the inheritors. We turned them out from the gardens and water springs, right? These are nice places in desert areas and stuff, gardens and water springs, pretty much anywhere. It doesn't have to be the desert. You're in the mountains, you're in the city. A nice little garden's nice, right? And a water spring, hey, come on, right? Water fountains are a big attraction in cities, right? Vienna and Paris and all, you have water fountains everywhere, huge ones, big ones. So these are nice places, right? And they're saying we turned them out, we put them out. They're not there anymore, right? And they took away the treasures and the positions of honor. That's how it is. We made the children of Israel the inheritors. And if you just think about history, Egypt was huge, right? Moses came. Okay, Egypt was huge. Pharaoh had a power over the people where he made it out to be they considered him a god on earth, right? Whether they believed it or not, they had to treat him like God on earth, so much so that he, does not allow people to even believe in a God that he doesn't give them permission to, right? He'll give you permission, or he'll give the people permission, it seems, up here. Have you believed in him before? I have given you permission. So when we go back through Egyptian archaeology, and we see these gods, Sekhmet and Isis, and all, these are official state-sanctioned gods, right? This is the official. This is what they were given permission to worship and honor and such like that. And Moses is coming with a message of a different, or he's bringing the truth. And Pharaoh's saying, "Hey, have I given you permission to to even listen to this guy?" So Pharaoh had that whole dynasty, the Egyptian dynasty, that was a way of life. And Pharaoh was kicked out. So if you look at history, it seems to me that Musa basically led the first revolt, right? The first major revolt in history. And, it showed the people that they, the truth. So they, right, this I'm continuing, ayat 60. So they pursued them at sunrise, Pharaoh's people, the army. And when the two groups saw each other, the people of Moses said, "We have surely been overtaken." Right? So there's a lot of pagan. There's a lot of non-believers that are going to be against the individual. A lot of temptations in the world, and it's going to seem overwhelming. But Moses is bringing the message that, nay, my Lord is certainly with me. He will guide me. So he has truth, even though And it doesn't even say that he has a plan exactly at this moment, right? He just is trusting in his Lord that it'll work out, right? Then we communicated to Moses, strike the river with your staff. Then the river, parted, and each separate part became like a huge mountain. And we then brought the others, the Pharaoh's party, on. And we rescued Moses and all those with him. Then we drowned the others. There is a sign in that. Yet most of them are not going to become believers. And no doubt your Lord, he is indeed the Almighty, infinitely merciful. Now, it's not always appropriate to do this, but using biblical symbolism, water is representative of people. A lot of times when you read in the Bible water or waters, not every time, but a lot of times it's representative of people, a crowd of people, a mass of people. So one way to interpret this, using the Jewish interpretation of water equaling people, a giant crowd, mass of people, is basically that Moses led a revolt, right? The king thought he had all of this power, and the Pharaoh thought he had all this power, and it's like, okay, we're going to go get Moses. Moses decides to, go where he's going. He runs into a crowd of people in some city or something like that, all right? Now, again, I'm not saying that this is the only way to take this. I'm saying that this is one way to apply this interpretation of using the sea or water as a crowd of people. It's how to interpret it into your life, or one way to interpret it into your life. And so when Moses came across these people, right, he just started going through them. He split it, and the people kind of moved out of his way, and you go amongst the people. Pharaoh thought he was safe, right? I'm going to walk through this water too, right? Now, if I would be scared, right? If someone split, an ocean or a river or any water and then started walking through it, I don't think I would follow them through, because I'm like, I don't know how they did that. I don't know that it's going to just collapse back up on me. But Pharaoh didn't have that. He had more audacity, right? He believed that things would work out even better for him. Moses is doing this. Things got to work out better for him. He's Pharaoh. So Moses walks through the crowd of people with his group of people, and Pharaoh pursues him. The ordinary people, right? They're not protected in the confines of the court like they are elsewhere. They are allowed, they don't have the security that they do back at the palace. And now they're in the water, right? Moses is able to go through the water, and the people, kind of like Robin Hood, they kind of like him. Hey, here's Moses. Here's our guy, right? Here's one of us. So they kind of just, bring him in. Nanawade, come on in. We got you. And when Pharaoh comes, they all just, hey, nope. So they kind of close up around him just like the water did. Now, again, I'm not saying that this is actually what I don't know. But this is one way that I read it. When I hear this is one way I take it. Again, I also take it historically, but so when the water splits, Moses goes through it, he goes through the crowd, and the people themselves revolt against Pharaoh, all right, because of the unjust treatment. And if you look in history, after that, boom, the Egyptian empire is gone. There's a few other empires that try to pick up after that, right? Babylonian, and you have the Persian and the Ottoman, a few big empires, but they end up falling, right, through whatever reason. And there's reasons that, might not be known to everybody, but I don't even know. That's one way how I take it, is that and I don't really know how to apply that to your life, except that if someone's pursuing you and you know that you're in the right path, maybe you have to rely on the people. Go to the people, and if they know that you're just, they're going to back you up. Now, it's only if you, through the will of God. But I don't know. Maybe it was a waste of time.